Hello everybody, bonjour tout le monde. I am back and I'm dressed comfy today with my butler shirt. Today I decided that I would finally film a video I've been wanting to film for like 3 weeks. I have my laptop here. I made notes about the things I wanted to talk about a month ago when I came up with this idea. So I guess now this is things that I've noticed and have had to adjust to after living in France for almost 2 months. Let's get into it. Okay, the first bullet point that I wrote, the fact that this was the first thing that came into my mind, is that toilets here barely have any water in them. That might sound weird, but in the US, in the toilet bowl, there is a lot of water. It comes up like halfway, right? Here, there's like a tiny bit of water, like just at the bottom. And they save so much water by doing this. It's great for the environment. There is no reason we need all of that water. And also, every single toilet here, I haven't come across a toilet that doesn't have 2 options, one flush for like less water and one flush for more water if you need it. I think that that's wonderful, and I know there's some of those in the US, but all the toilets here have that. And I just love how environmentally friendly everything is here. It's really great. On that same note, everything here is pretty much reusable or disintegratable. Or it can disintegrate, or it's recyclable. Everything in here is so great. When it comes to receipts, straws, wrappers, cups, napkins, and there's just barely any plastic, and it's so wonderful to see. There's also such a big focus on public transportation here and biking and walking, which I love so much, and the public transportation here is so great, and they have such wonderful plans to cut down all of their CO2 emissions, and just the city is very green itself in Nantes. I did an exposition on this in my French class, but I won't bore you with all of that. We have amazing bus systems and amazing tram systems. They're very efficient compared to most of the public transportation I've taken in the US, and they're much better for the environment. Okay, I'm reading through my bullet points and the order is so random, so just bear with me. There are protests every single Saturday. Sometimes Fridays as well. This is something that I've definitely had to get used to. Not all of these protests are scary or violent, and I love that people are able to share their thoughts and speak freely. However, there are times where it sometimes makes it uncomfortable for the people that are living here. For the most part, even living in a non-touristy city in France, everybody knows English a little bit. And it's interesting to see who switches to English when, for example, I talk to them in French and they realize that I'm American, and to notice who doesn't switch. At the beginning, I kind of got offended when people would hear my French and immediately switch to English. However, after talking with a lot of locals, it's pretty normal for them to do that because these French people are so excited that they get to practice their English, just as I'm so excited to practice my French with them. I have noticed, which makes me kind of proud, that people are switching less and less, which means that either my French is getting better or my accent is getting better, or I just seem more confident and less nervous. Could be a mix of all that. So meals here are a little bit different than in the US. Every family is different, but every day the table is set and you have your plate and you have your knife and your fork and your little spoon for dessert right on top, and your glass and your reusable napkins. Mealtime is just really special, especially for me because I get to talk with my host family, and it's a great time for me to practice my French, learn new words, and just have that everyday conversation constantly going. My host family is the best, and we joke a lot during dinner. Something interesting about mealtime that is different in the United States is that dessert is a big part of your meal. So a lot of times, at least in my family and with the people that I've talked to, dessert usually is something that, when you have dinner at home, you just kind of have dessert on your own. Here, it's a little bit different in that you always eat dessert as a family and you eat it directly after you finish the meal. So there's no waiting, there's no digesting, you just hop right in. So you better save room because the desserts are amazing. Something else that people might do in the US that I just am not aware of, but a lot of times dessert is either fruit or yogurt. In terms of COVID, one big difference is that we have something called the pass sanitaire. It's basically a QR code on your phone that has all of your information, so they can tell if you've been vaccinated and boosted. In order to sit in a restaurant or outside of a restaurant, in order to go into the movies, or in basically anywhere, you have to show your pass sanitaire. My bullet point says, French people don't drink water like ever. What the heck? My friends in my program and I always talk about this because we get so many weird looks when we ask for a carafe d'eau at a restaurant, which is basically just tap water in a bottle. We usually finish it pretty fast and they have to refill it. Often we have to get it refilled during a meal like 4 or 5 times, and they look at us like we are out of our minds. Also, with our host families, we've noticed that during meals we drink so much water and they rarely drink any. Something that's not my favorite is that people here dress very nice all the time. What I'm wearing right now is like the most informal thing that I could ever wear here. Here, I'm wearing dress pants, I'm wearing sweaters and blouses every day. It's just a lot less comfortable. And I understand that that's the culture here, and I definitely respect that, and I would never like walk out wearing a big t-shirt. This next bullet point just says scarves equal life. I bought a scarf. I've never worn scarves in my life, but when I got here, I bought a scarf because I was like, everyone has one. They're great. 1, everybody wears them. 2, they actually keep you warm. I know I'm stupid, but I was unaware of the fact that like they actually did anything. I was like, they're just for fashion. No, they're great. Everything is just dead on Sundays. Almost no stores are open because it's supposed to be just a day of family and rest, and some people go to church, but for the most part, it's supposed to be a day to spend time with your family and rest. The last bullet point that I have is that paper is bigger. So in the States, our like letter paper, as we call it, is 8.5 by 11, right? Here, it is bigger, which is something that I had no idea about. Don't judge me for my bright pink folder, but this is a folder that with 8.5 by 11 papers, it just like fits direct, like the papers go to like there, right? But not French paper. I guess I was just so ignorant to the fact that other sizes of paper existed. Like, I just found it wild. So I probably missed a million other things, but this video is already so long. So I'm going to go. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you have an amazing day. Tell somebody that you love them today and get that study abroad application going, because I am truly living my best life. If you're really scared to, you know, make that jump and even just apply to study abroad, this is your sign to just do it. You can always decide later not to, but this is the first step. I highly suggest going through IES because I've had such an amazing time, and Nantes is a great choice as well. A bientôt!